In this video, we are going to discuss about built-in functions of list. How these functions are going to be implemented in a list. Let us first discuss what is built-in functions. The built-in functions that are predefined and are supplied along with the compiler. We don't need to write anything for these built-in functions. They are already been created, and we just need to, by their names by which they have been defined, we have to use them. So let us discuss that how these built-in functions been used in a list. So first we discuss about built-in functions, types of built-in functions that have been used in list. Append, insert, extend, index, sort, reverse, clear, count, and deletion operations. Deletion, there are 3 deletion operations functions, so we will discuss at the last. So first we discuss about the first one, that is append. What is the meaning of append? Is it add a single item to the end of the list. Means first, this is a syntax: list name dot append and the item or the value. We will understand the concept of append with the use of the example. So if I declare a list, here is the list 10, 20, 30, 40. It's a list. You know that how the list has been created. The meaning of the add a single item to the end means after the 40. One thing that you need to remember, that append is going to add a single block at the end to the right side. So when I write down the line, that is no dot append and bracket a new number, that is 50, it will be added to the right with the index value is now 4. When I use a print no, the output will be like this: 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. It is added towards the right side. I'm going to show you practically also. Here is the list. If I use this 10, 20, 30 and I'm going to just display it 10, 20, 30. Now after this, if I want to add one more number, no dot append bracket 40 close, then print no. Now when you execute, it will add a new number. This is the first one, 10, 20, 30 starting this print, and then when we use that append, a new block has been created and it has been added with the list. Means if I am going to copy this and paste it again and change the number to 60, it will be append 3 list. So this is the use of the append. Now let us discuss the second function, and the function is insert. Insert means it can be used to insert an element or an object at a specified index. This function takes 2 arguments. One is the index where your item you want to insert, and the value or element itself. Here is the syntax: index number and the value. It means that where you want to insert the value, you have to place the index value first, then only the value is going to be inserted. Here is the line, what is the meaning of index number, and next one is what is the meaning of value. A new value to be inserted in a list, and the index where the new value to be inserted, that is the index number. Let's move to the example. Now if I take one example, that there is a numbers in a list 10, 20 and 30. So these are the numbers 10, 20 and 30. This is 0, this is 1, this is 2. These are the index numbers, and we want to insert a new number, that is 25, between 20 and 30. Where is that 20? 20 is in 30. That means 20 is at 1 index and 30 is at 2. That means we need to add insert no dot insert means list name dot insert 2 comma 25. This 2 is a index number, that is this one, and we have to insert that 25. That means we need to shift this. In place of this 30, we have to place the 25. So what happened with the 30? It is going to be shifted toward the right side. Means if this is a list, it is going to be shifted. Now in this gap, the number that is 25 is going to be inserted, and when the index, both the index are not going to be same, so automatically the index value of the 30 is going to be changed to 3. When we use print line, it will show us 10, 20, 25, 30. That means it becomes 2, and that 2 is now 3, that is shifted. Let us take one more example of insert. In this case, names. So what I needed? I need one more name. Means these are the names in a list: Vinay, Sonia and Deepak. Now what we needed? We want that this name Kim is going to be inserted before Vinay. That means at 0 place. This place. That means now what happened? This 0 becomes Kim. So what happened to Vinay, Sonia and Deepak? Automatically the numbers of indexing is going to be changed. Here they came. It becomes 0. They won 1, 2 and 3. And when we use the print, it's going to show us the value like this. We move to the Python. Here are the numbers. If I am going to execute this line, it will show me the 10, 20 and 30. Now, if I need to insert a number, list name is no1 dot in insert bracket. If I put 1 comma 15 and then again print no1. So now what happened? 0, 1, that means between 10 and 20. So when I execute this line, 10, 15, 20 and 30. If I again copy this line and again pasted here. Now what I needed? If I'm going to change that means how many numbers? First is here, second is here, third is here, then fourth is here, then a fifth. If I make it 4, fourth place, I want a new number, that is 45, and execute this line. Here it is. At last 45 is going to be inserted. Why? Because second time the list is like this: 0, 1, 2 and 3, and fourth place is 45. Means at the right side end of the list also I insert a new value. Same if I erase this line and I'm going to move to the string part. Here is this line that I am using. Same if I am going to execute this line, computer. Now if I need to insert a new line, it means here is the line where it is 0, 1, 2 and 3 at last. So when I execute this, IPO is at the last where it is 0, 1, 2 and 3. Last it is going to be inserted. So next we discuss extend. What is the meaning of extend? To add something in order to make it bigger or longer. That means we have to add something to make it bigger. And which side? You already know that. Right side. Adding. Add one list at the end of the another list. Means we are going to use extend to add another list. Now we are not supposed to add one block at a time. It means one value at a time. We can add a whole list to another list. So what is the syntax? List name dot extend and the second list name. So we take one example. If no1 list 1 10 20 30 and no2 15 25 35, these are the list. We need to extend the no1 with the numbers of no2. It means this is my original list of no1 10 20 30, we want to extend. You know that at the end of the list, this side, right? So these numbers are going to be added. Now the list has been created and it is now been concatenated with the second list. When we use print, it will display the numbers like this. I'm going to show you practically. Here is the list: 10, 20 and 30, 4, 5, 6, 7 means NO2 and NO1. If I'm going to execute this line, it will display me the answer like this. This is NO1 and this is NO2. Now I want to join numbers to NO2. What is the line? NO2 dot extend NO1. NO1 10, 20, 30 are going to be part of NO2. That means 4, 5, 6, 7 left side and right side at the end is going to be 10, 20, 30. Let's check it first. Here it is. The list has been joined. Now if you go through this example, you already know that if we don't know the extend, there is one more method that we in the starting we have done, that is a sign plus sign. If you don't know the function name extend, this is also a plus sign that is used for concatenate. Same line, NO2 equals to NO2 plus NO1. If I'm going to execute this line, it will display the same result. Means you can use extend also, you can use this plus sign also. Both are going to work in the same way. We will discuss now what is the difference between append and extend. Append used for single value and extend for whole list. So if there is an example that if we want to add 70, 80, 90 numbers in a list using append. Here is the list, that is NO equals to 10, 20 and 30. And these are the number: 10 at 0 index, 20 at 1 and 30 at 2. Now if I want to add first number, that is 70. So NO dot append bracket 70, where the 70 is going to be added to the right side. Here it is, and the index value is now become 3. Now for the next number, that is append 80, again move to the right side here and it will become 4. Same way if I move to the next one, 90, if I click here, so when I print the line, 10, 20, 30, 70, 80, 90 is going to display. Now let's add those 3 numbers in a list NO. If I'm going to execute this line, it will display me 10, 20, 30. Now we need another number, that is we have to use append. So what is that number is 50. Now if I'm going to execute this, 50 is going to be added to the right side. If another number, I need 60, same again append 60. Like this, the numbers are going to be added to the right side. So this is the concept of using the append if you want to add the numbers one by one. Now you know what is the use of append. Now we're going to discuss about the extend. Same example, 70, 80, 90 numbers are need to be added in a list NO using the extend. This is the list 10, 20, 30. Now if you don't know about the extend, we write down append 3 times and put 70, 80, 90, then they are going to add it to the right side. But in a extend case, we don't need to write down 3 times append that line. Only one single line can add number of numbers that is needed to be added in a list. First you have to write down the name of the list, dot extend, 2 bracket sign, and inside that put the number 70, 80, 90 in a bracket. These are the formation of list, and when you execute this line, these are going to be added to the right side and 3, 4, 5 index numbers are going to be added. When we use the print and the display the answer, these are the numbers that are going to be displayed. So we moved here. There is a line, we are using append, again append, so we erase these line, and in place of this we write down a line, that is extend, in the bracket put the sign, these are the numbers, and when I erase this line and when I execute this, will give me the answer like this. Means all the numbers have been added. One single line is going to work in place of that append. Now next function is index. Index function return index of first match item from the list. It returns the first occurrence of an item for which the index position is to be searched. It is used to search the number from a list, and first match item position is going to be returned. The syntax is going to be list name dot index, and the item means a value. Here is the list 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Index value is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now number that I search is 40. No dot index 40. Here it is 40. And what is the index value? 3. So when the output will be there, it should display me the 3 is going to be display. Here is the list. From this list, if I enter the number that is 44, so when I execute this line, it returns 7. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It search the first log. If there are two 44s, there first one here and second is here. When I execute this, it will return 0, 1, 2, 3. 3 is going to first occurrence. If there are duplicate values, the first occurrence is going to be returned back. Now you know the use of index. Let us discuss another example of use of the index. Same values, but this time I'm not going to print, I'm going to store it, because you know that index search this value and return this index value. Before that we use print, now we store. Means this 40 index number is going to store inside the k, and 3, that is 3. When we write down print k, display 3. Here it is. Means in place of this line we erase this, what k equals to, and in the next line we write down print even the message also, position comma k, and when we execute it will return POS is 3. Now from the index, one more example. This time days: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Same way they're going to store. When we write down print days index Tuesday, what is going to return? Index value is 1. 1 is going to return. Now move to the next. Sorting. Sorting by default ascending, and we can go for a descending also. What is the meaning of sorting? Ascending order or descending order, the numbers or the alphabets or words are going to be sorted. List name dot sort, and it's going to sort the numbers. I'm going to show you that example. There are unsorted numbers. If you go to the list numbers, 40, then 10, 50, 20, 60, 30, these are stored inside the NO. In the next line we write out NO dot sort, and after that when we print NO, the values have been changed from ascending to ascending order. Means smaller value to the highest value, that is, this is smaller, that is the largest, low to high, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, it's going to be done. I'm going to show you the same program that I'm going to use. In place of that, I'm going to write down directly NO and erase this K. In place of this, write down SORT, sort. Now when we execute, you have already know that numbers, these are the numbers. You can make the changes also. If you make it first, that is 90. This number 110, 100. Now when I make it this number 19. Now before sort and after sort, I write down again print NO. Now when I execute this line, these are unsorted numbers and here it is the sorted numbers. Here is one more example of sorting, and I'm using the string. The words are being used. NM equals to player, games, example, water, boy, animal. They are not in an order wise. Unsystematic way I put all those things inside the variable NM, and first time I'm print the original list, then after using the sort, then I'm going to print the changes modified list. When I execute this line, to show me like this, the first one before sorting and this is after sorting, means the numbers have been sorted by use of this nm dot sort. Now next we move to the next part, and what is the next function is clear. Clear means everything is going to be erased from the list, means we are going to remove all the items inside the list and everything, it is going to be an empty list. Means if the list there are number of things have been written, store inside that variable days, these are the values, and when we use the clear and when we print, we display that, it will show us nothing, it will display blank. So I'm going to use the same example. After sorting, I don't want to use anything inside that, I put nm dot clear and then write down print values. I put a message so that we know that yes, it execute or not, and nm close. So now when I click, look, it's an empty list, means everything inside the list is being erased, not as blank. We can use it again, we can put something else inside that. After the line, after this line, we can write down something else and we can use to store the values inside that, and means it's a blank list. Now in this we are going to discuss count. Now what is the use of count? Count is used to count how many times the item or value found in a list, means it is going to search the number of times that particular value item is going to be found in a list and display the result in the form of count like this. If there is a list with the numbers and there is a repeated number, 5 has been repeated there, if you want to see that 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, means the numbers are repeated. So the use of, what is the use of the count is, if we want to search that particular number, we just need to write down number dot count and 5, and it will display 4, means this 5 is searched inside this list, that is first time, second time, third and fourth time, and that 4 is going to be returned back to the print, means this count is going to return the value and you have to pass inside the print. Or one more method is there, that you can store that in a variable k and then print the k. This k will store that result, that is 4, means when this count is going to be execute, it will check that first, then second, then third, then 4. That means it will count that 1, 2, 3, 4, and that is going to be stored inside that variable k, or it directly transfer to print and the 4 is going to be display. I'm going to show you that practically. Here is the line. I'm using the string, that is player, games, player, player, example, water, player, boy, animal, and I want to search player. So now I'm going to just write down the line. Here is the line, and there is the messages that how many times that player is going to be searched inside the list nm. So I write it down that nm dot count and bracket, then the player. This player is going to be searched inside this list. When I execute this line, 4, that means 1, 2, 3 and 4, means in the case of string. Now in the same thing we are going to do in the numbers. If you move to the numbers, here are the numbers, and if you go through this list, there are many numbers are there, but there is one number that is repeated, that is 100. So if I want to search, it is not compulsory that the number should be repeated there. I'm going to show you that also. Means I'm going to search that number is 100 from this list. So when I execute this line, it will display me 5, that means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you need to search something else like number that is 15, and I execute that line, How many times? 2 times. One is here and second is here. Even if you want that, no, you want to enter the number and then you going to first the program is going to ask you the number and then that number is going to be searched. That can be done. I'm going to declare one variable k equals to, then I use int bracket input enter number. Now this k variable is going to be used and I'm going to pass that k here. Now if I'm going to execute this line, it will ask me the number. I'm just going to enter the number. Here is that, because I'm using that input, so it means I'm going to ask for accepting the number from the user. So from the keyboard I enter that number. If I'm going to search a number 22, what happened now? This 20 that I enter through keyboard is being stored inside the variable k, and it is in a form of integer int. You can write down eval also, or you can write down int also. You know that it means that it convert that string to a number, and that k is going to pass inside the count, and this k is store the value that is 20, and it has been searched in that list, and 20 is been 1 and 2 times that number is being searched. Now last function that we are going to discuss, deletion operations. Python provide deletion operators for removing or deleting the items from a list. There are 3 methods we are going to discuss. One is pop, second is del, and third is remove. Now first one, if we talk about that, if we want to delete the values on the basis of their index value, there is a difference. Index value, you know that 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 starting. So we are going to use pop and delete, pop and del for deleting that item using index value. Now you know that pop and del is been used to delete the element on the basis of index value. But if you don't know the index number and you want that number is to be searched, the item number inside the list, and then the value is going to be deleted, that can be done. For that you have to use remove. Remove is being used to delete the item or the value from that particular slot from a list with the help of that item or the value searched in a list using remove, and remove will search it, if found delete that. But if you want to delete the whole particular or a whole list or a particular range, means you want to delete the particular range, you know that if you want to display a particular range of numbers, you are going to use the slice. Same way the slice is going to be used with the del, and this del is going to remove that particular range of numbers with the help of that slice. Now we discuss the first deletion operation, and what is that? Pop. Pop is used to delete the element from the list on the basis of the specified index value, and when it delete that, it also return that element back. You can display it or you can store it if you need. Now what is the syntax? Same thing, list name dot pop and 2 brackets. Here it is an example. There is a list no where the numbers are being stored, and if I need to delete the 4th element, that is index value 4, so 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, that means this 6 is going to be deleted. I passes directly inside that no.pop 4. So what happened now? Here the element is going to be deleted, that means this 6 is going to be deleted, and at the same time this 6 is going to be returned. So it is going to be, if I use k equals to variable, that is going to store inside that. If I am using print, it will display me that value. And after that, one more line, print no, means after pop I want to check that the number is deleted from the list or not. So when I display that no, it will show me that 1, 2, 4, 5 is there, then the 6 is removed, then the 8, 9, 10, 12, 15. That means this 6 has been deleted, and I have already printed that also. Now let us discuss the use of the pop function in a list. Here is the list, and there are some of the numbers. Now if you want to delete a number, that is 50. Now you know that pop is being used to delete the number from a list on the basis of the index value. So you need to write down the exact index value of that particular number in a list. So this is 0, 1, 2 and 3. About 3 inside that pop. This 3 is going to delete that number from a list, and this 50 is going to transfer inside that K. And when I display that deleted number K, it will display me answer, that is 50, and NO1 after deletion, that number is going to be removed, and when the list is going to be displayed, all the number except 50 is going to be shown on the screen. So let us compile it. So I'm going to execute. Here it is. Deleted number is 50, and if you go through the list, there is 50 is being removed from that list. Now we will discuss the next operator for deletion, that is del. It also work in the same way, using the index value, search on the basis of index value and delete the item from the list, but it is not going to return back the element which was removed. But in the case of pop, it returns. Second thing, we can use del as a slicing also. If we want to delete a range of numbers, we can use slice option and we can delete the elements from the list. Syntax in both the cases, if you are deleting only single value, then the index number. If you want to delete a range, then in that case you have to use start and the end value. So let us discuss with the example. Here is the example. First we are discussing that is the index value. So these are the numbers, and we want to delete the number at 4th position, that is 4th is the index value, that is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So what is that number is 6. Here is the 4th index value and the 6 is the number. So when we print after this, it will delete that number 6 from the list, and the 5 after that directly 8 is going to be there. So it is the first case when we are using the index number. Now let us move to the next part. If we are going to delete the number, slicing means some numbers that we are going to delete, means del list name, start and the end we have to use. So again I am using the same list. Now I'm going to delete the numbers. I have given the example also. So what are those numbers that I want to delete? Number from 6 to 12 means these are the item values, but according to the question, if we go through the question, that is from index number 4 to 8, that means 4 to 8 means 6, 8, 9, 10 and 12 should be deleted from this list. So when we write down the line delete number, what is the first index value? That is going to be 4. And when we write down the end value, you should know that in a slicing, what is that value is 9, but what is given 8. So you should know that last end value is always going to be -1. If it is 9, so it will work up to 8. That means 4 to 8 the values are going to be removed from the list. And when we display that NO like this, 1, 2, 4, 5, then 15 and 18, 6, 8, 9, 10, 12 are deleted. I'm going to show you practically. In this case, I write down the list is given. I write it del NO1 and blank. Now I need to delete 22. 22 is here, and where it is setting, that is 0 and this is 1, that is 1 index value. So I put 1, and when I execute this line, the 22 is going to be removed from the list here. Now I'm using a same list, and now I want from 22 to 60. So I put slicing option, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is a 5th place, so I'm not going to write down 5. I'm going to write down 6 because 1 is going to be minus, and it is going to be deleted. Here it is. Means you can use any method without any value, first value remove it. You can delete the list. Means all the slicing options are going to work. All the slicing option. Even I can use, if I'm going to use negative. Here it is. All the method, negative values, positive values, everything can be applied if you want to use the del option. Now last we are going to discuss the deletion operation, that is remove. It is different in comparison to pop and del. In that case we are going to use index value, but in this case we are going to use the element number. We don't need to use the index value. If we move to the syntax, same way, list name dot remove, and the item or the value element number we are going to write down inside this. So if we take one example, and this is NO is a list and all the numbers are there, and we are going to write down that NO dot remove 12. So where is 12? Where it is? If we go to that particular cell, here it is, that is a 8. So this time it is not going to be searched according to the index number, it is searched by the value that is inside that list. So when we, after this line, when you write down print NO, you will find that that number is deleted from the list. Means this 12 is not inside that list. You are not supposed to find out that 12. Now if we move to the practically, we can show that. If I'm going to write down remove, and any number, might be 22, and when I execute this line, it will display you 10 and 21, means 22 is deleted. But if there are 222 numbers are there, what is going to happen? Second one remain there only. The first one is going to be deleted from the left side. Means that this number is not going to be deleted. If you want to delete number of times this number 22 is repeated, deleted from the list, in that case we have to write down remove 2 or 3 times, and only. If we copy this line and paste it again, now if I'm going to execute this line, this time the 22 is going to be deleted. But it is not going to be done now if there are 6, 7, 22 are there and we have to write down 7 times. No. In that case we have to use something else. In the next video I'm going to tell you that how we're going to delete the values. Now if we move to back to the remove, so we have completed that up to the remove. Now we move to the next part, and what is that? If we go to the next one, it is max and minimum. You know that maximum value and minimum value means it is going to search the maximum and the minimum value from the list. If this is the list and there are many numbers being given, and if I'm going to use max number or if I'm going to use min number, in both the cases max will give me the largest value from the list and min will give me the lowest value from the list. I'm going to show you here. If I'm going to remove this, if I'm going to pass max NO and execute this, yes, this will give me 60. If I'm going to change that to min, it will give me minimum value. That means maximum and minimum is going to search the minimum value or a maximum value from the list if I'm going to use max and minimum. Next, one more is there. If I want to reverse this list, for that I need to use this function that is called reverse. It reverses the order of the element in a list. Means if this is the list that is 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and I need to reverse the list, means 19 come to the first, 15 go at the last, means it is going to be reverse 19, 18, 17, 16, 15. The line is NO dot reverse, and when we use the print NO, it will reverse the number. Now 19 at the 0, 18 at 1, then 17, then 16, then 15. I'm going to show you here also. If I'm going to display this line like this, before and after, 2 times I'm going to use print, and between that I'm going to write down NO1 dot reverse. Then again I'm going to write down. If I'm going to execute this line, you will see that this is the original list, and after that this is a reverse list, means the numbers are reversed.